I'm here with Daniel and David from Rheyo. What are you building and what problem does it solve?
So honestly, today, dental care is painful and invasive. Think getting like a cavity drilled or even getting a root canal. And so me and my brother are building a device that gives dentists essentially a pain-free, non-invasive alternative. It allows them to deliver therapeutics and other agents like directly into your teeth.
Wow. Now, what is this moment in time like, and what does your company need help with to grow?
Honestly, right now, we're looking for more customers, more tech-forward dentists around the Boston area. We're on market with our first product, which is professional tooth whitening treatment. Our device enables dentists to enable faster and less painful, less sensitive in-office whitening, something that you can get over your lunch break. So we're looking to scale that at this point.
And what do you and your team love about building here at the Engine and building in Boston?
So Boston is a great place for the dental ecosystem. Their top-tier dental schools, Harvard, Tufts, BU, as well as the American Dental Association Forsyth Institute, which is their premier research institute. At the Engine, we're just surrounded by a bunch of cool founders doing really amazing things, and they're always happy to talk about what they're doing, and that's like a big kind of snowball effect with the motivation and the high stoke.
Now, lastly, what are some startups that you've gotten inspiration from, other companies that you've watched that have helped you on your journey?
So we're watching some of our friends who we had seen go through the same like MIT startup ecosystem, Macrocycle, who's here at the Engine, who does PET recycling, Neurobionics, who are making a brain implant fiber, as well as some of our friends also working in the dental space, so Lura Health, who are doing continuous saliva monitor and drool. Also at the Engine, they're working on diagnostics for really underdiagnosed and undertreated periodontal disease.
This is Daniel and David from Rheyo. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having us.
I am here with Pavana, the founder and CEO of Nervoid. What are you building, and what problem does it solve?
So at Nervoid, what we were inspired to do is make cell phenotype analysis as easy as getting a photograph and putting it in an app and getting to know what is wrong with the cell. So for all the gardening enthusiasts there, take a photograph of a leaf and it tells you what's wrong with the leaf and how to correct for growing conditions. We do the same but with cells. So if you are able to provide an image of a cell, we're able to say, okay, these are the molecular pathways that are altered, these are the genes that are upregulated, downregulated, and so it's easier for people to infer when they're running large screens, for example, and saying, okay, they have a 384 well plate and they want to say, which are the wells that are showing a phenotype we want? And we can say, yeah, these 12 wells maybe. Instead of taking all 384 wells forward, we automate decision making at that stage.
And what is this moment in time like for your startup, and what are some of the things you need the most help with?
So right now we have our proof of concept, our platform ready, deployed. We welcome all users to come use it. We've launched pilots with companies, so we are asking for more pilots, more commercial pilots that we could get, validate our platform, and of course funding. We would love to have some support with funding as well. So we are looking to fundraise soon, and we are starting that off in a few months.
Great. And what do you love about building here in Boston, and particularly at the Engine?
Building in Boston, it's so unique in the fact that we have a perfect ecosystem of academia. We have a perfect ecosystem of industry and incubators like this, like the Engine, right there in a 1 mile radius, And it's so easy to just walk across this road and meet so many people from so many different aspects of this ecosystem that it just is marvelous. And that's the best part of being in Boston. You can interact with pharma companies, biotech companies, investors, incubators, and accelerators right here. This is the perfect place for it. And that's what I love.
What are some other startups that you're watching, whether it's other residences at the Engine or other startups in Boston or even around the globe, that you would give a shout out to?
Yes, so there have been companies that I go to for advice. There have been founders who've done so well. I really look up to Nucleus. They're here at the Engine and at Lab Central. They're here. Also always follow Drop Genie, Cypher. There's some of the companies that are here, and they're fantastic innovators and fantastic entrepreneurs.
This is Pavana from Nervoid. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I am here with Alex, the co-founder and CTO of Ventum Biotech. Alex, what are you and your team building, and what problem does it solve?
So thank you for having us. We at Ventum Biotech are building biodefense solutions for contamination control. So it can be particulate, radioactive, microbiological, or chemical. Right now, our flagship product is focused on biological, microbiological reduction. So it's a biocide and a dispersion method. And so we're focused on standalone and automated solutions for efficient and high turnover rates for terminal disinfections. And then we've also now developed the product a little bit outside of strictly terminal disinfection for more regular cleaning.
Amazing. Now, what is this moment in time like at your company? What do you need help with? What are you focused on?
So we now have a full functioning product, a commercial bill. We are building the team. So right now it's really growing our sales structure. That's the biggest step. And building some credibility as well, some pilots with some large customers potentially that can also create some organic kind of marketing and growth for us and generate some sales.
Yeah. And what do you love about building here at the Engine and building in Boston?
I think it goes without saying. Anybody else who may have the same answers. We are a French-American company. We've seen a lot of different ecosystems. I think all of them are trying to replicate what is being done at the Engine, but the Engine is definitely one of those true ecosystems whose reality follows its reputation. And this is a really great and rich environment to be in.
Yeah. And last, what are some other startups or companies that you've watched, learned from, that you would shout out for the rest of the startup community?
So in our field, there's a lot of constraints on materials. So obviously a big company here is Foundation Alloy. That's very interesting on many levels, although they focused, I think, on much more heavy-duty applications. But there's also a company here called Hyperspectrum AI. They're in microbiological monitoring, so like sensors to detect microbiology, like viruses, bacteria, proteins, etc. in the air. So those are pretty strong potential add-ons to where we're trying to do. And then there are a few also companies, not specifically in the Engine. One is a Swedish company, and they also focus on molecular filtration and decontamination in microelectronics and gigafactories primarily. So there's also some interest there.
This is Alex from Ventum Biotech. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.